Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I think you I think you can hear me now because I can see my tones on reach. Can you hear me now? Yeah, you can hear me now. Let me cut that off. Can you hear me now? Where is it coming? I think you can hear me now because I can see my tones on. Okay. I'm gonna start all over again. I'm not sure why, but for some reason it was using a mic that I haven't used. So hopefully everybody had a good weekend. It's your boy Maas, and this is Adult Conversations with Maas Apeal. Before we go any further, we got to give thanks to the Most High for allowing us to see another day, another sunrise, another sunset. And tonight we're going to discuss college degrees. What has your college degree done for you? Was your college degree worth that investment of time, energy, and money? Was your degree worth the student loans that you're repaying now, if you are repaying student loans? Were you able to get the job that you wanted to get because of your degree? And if you didn't go to college and you didn't get a college degree, are you where you want to be? Do you have any regrets about not getting a college degree? Now, to preface this conversation, I will say that I have my undergrad degree. I have a bachelor's of science in applied cultural studies with a minor in African American history. I started out at Clark Atlanta University. I went to 3 colleges. Started out at Clark Atlanta University. My mother had my sister, and I moved back to Louisville and went to the University of Louisville to help with my little sister. Once that was cool, I went to Northern Kentucky University up near Cincinnati, and that's where I graduated from. From there, I moved, after I finished my undergrad, I moved to Washington, D.C. Got a job working for a university as a transfer credit evaluator, and completed my master's program in public administration with a concentration in human resources management. And basically, during that time of going to school, I accumulated a lot of student loans. Score, we got Score on now. Score, congratulations to your grandson on graduating from high school. Yeah, shouts out to my cousin. Shouts out to my cousin that came to kick it with me. My cousin Jeremy from Chicago. He has a son that lives in Columbus, Ohio. He graduated from West High on Friday. So my cousin came in, and I got a chance to see my cousin. I haven't seen him in over 20 years, so it was real good to see my cousin. And all this was because of education. If you have a college degree, are you where you want to be? Has your college degree given you the life that you saw, that you thought you would have? Was it worth it? Has that investment in yourself of obtaining the college degree, has that investment come full circle? Have you realized that investment in yourself? Now, I'll say some I have some things to say. And maybe your plight is different than mine, but what I will say about my degree is I don't feel that my feelings are that I don't feel that my degree was worth the investment that I put into it. Now, I will preface that by saying that my college degree did allow me to have opportunities to obtain better jobs, but that degree has not afforded me in my field of human resources management. Even though I have a master's degree, even though I have obtained certifications outside my degree, where I'm certified as a professional of human resources through SHRM, which is the Society of Human Resources Management. It's the largest society for human resources professionals over in the world. My degree didn't afford me the ability to hasn't because I'm saying hasn't because I'm still a work in progress. Even though I have not, and we're going to talk about unemployment and black male unemployment, and we're going to talk about a lot tonight. But what I will say is, I do not feel that the investment of time, effort, and student loans, it has not, the investment has not proven to be worth it. And the reason I say that is because I have been in my field for almost 20 years, and I've yet to be managed by someone who has had more credentials than me. Most of my direct managers, well, I won't say in the beginning. I'll say since I've obtained the work experience, the education, and the certifications to be at a higher level, I have never been managed by someone that had more credentials than me. I have even been managed by individuals that did not have a college degree. Now, you can say work experience, you can say all those types of things. But I have friends that work in the financial industry for banks. I'm not going to say what bank or what banks. I have friends that have been working in the financial industry for banks that do not have degrees, but are managed by people who have way less experience than them. And I also have friends that have higher degrees and have obtained positions where they're running departments and things of that nature. So what I'm saying is everyone's experience is going to be different. And I also have friends that did not get degrees that make more than six figures without a degree. So everyone's experience is going to be different. But my question is, do you feel that your degree was worth it? Was worth it. Now, I will say that I have had great jobs. I'm not saying that my college degree did not afford me the ability to have the opportunity to get better jobs. Because even with those opportunities, you still have to prepare, you know, preparation, time, and attitude are still required to obtain that job, even if you get the opportunity to interview with your degree. I don't think there's anyone out there that will say, yeah, my degree got me that job, because that's putting a discount on you. The degree got you in the door, but your experiences, your heart, and your education got you the job. It wasn't the degree. What is it about a college degree? What does it say you can learn? What is a college degree supposed to do? Let's start with that question. What is a college degree supposed to do? And I started a poll tonight and I said, has or have your degree or degrees proven to be worth the loans and energy? And 71% of the people have said yes, it has proven to be worth the time and energy. And 29% have said no. So, was the job more on your credentials, or like YWG said, most of his jobs were because of who he knew? Somebody pulled him in. And I'll also ask this question. Did what you learned in your degree program help you in your day-to-day work? Or is this stuff that you could have learned or been trained on? What is it? What does a degree do? Unless you're in a specialized field like law, like programs, like are there degrees that are a waste of money and time? Scorp said you are most likely to get a job with a degree. And I would say that now, it used to be that an undergrad degree would get you a foot in the door. Now it's almost like an undergrad degree is not what it used to be. An undergrad degree is not what it used to be. It's almost mandatory that if you're going to go to college and get a degree, that you have to go ahead and go to a master's program. Now, it's not always fact. It's not always fact. In some industries, and depending on who you know, a undergrad degree is sufficient. It's sufficient. Working in the government space, you'll see where lots of education, degrees, and things of that nature can be substituted with years of experience. You'll have people that are working in the government space that have been there 20 years that will be making great money. And I think those are some of the people that Doge is going after. It's some of those people. Because lots of jobs work experience can be substituted for degrees and things of that nature. So, with that being said, do you think you could have, would you have been able to get into the field that you are in now without your degree? What does, and that's the root of this, is why do we go to school and pay all this money for 4 years when unless it's specialized chemistry, dentistry, doctors, lawyers, accountants, unless it's something like that, a lot of some jobs can be learned. I don't think a person should have to go to get a 4-year degree to be an administrative assistant. Some jobs you don't, but lots of jobs require this. What does it, in the bigger scheme of things, what does a degree say? Is it just another money making thing, a way to saddle debt on people where you have to work and you have to be a part of the system? Is that what it is? Because most people can't come out of their pocket for tens and $8,000 a semester cash to pay for tuition room. I mean, it can be done. You can work and do that, but really, is it possible for large segments of society to be able to pay cash for college? I would say no. People don't want to take student loans, but I mean, if you, it's a necessity. Lots of times, it's a necessity. If there were student loan programs and Pell grants and things of that nature, I wouldn't have been able to go to college. I wouldn't have. If I look back on things, hindsight is always 2020. I'm not sure if I would have went to college and saddled myself with the amount of debt that I have. I don't think I would have done that. But it's, you look at these things, and there was a reason why. There was a reason why, and I think it was psychological, why they don't do it anymore. But when I was going to undergrad, they would have these fairs on campus where all the credit card companies would come and saddle you with debt. You didn't have any jobs, but they were giving away credit cards like bubble gum. They were just giving you, and mentally you're thinking, oh, okay, I got this. As well, I don't know any other than the U.S. government and credit card companies. I don't know any other places where you could get thousands of dollars without your parents' consent. You could get thousands of dollars. They would give you money where you would have refund checks after your tuition, your room, and your board was paid for. You would get refund checks, $8,000 refund check. Why would anybody? Why weren't the student loans for the exact amount? Now, I will say that a lot of those student loans, it afforded you the ability to not have to work and to be able to concentrate on classes. But if you didn't concentrate on classes and you took all that money, or you flunked out of school, or you stopped going to school. Those debts are still there. There's lots of people that went to college to get a degree, and for whatever circumstances, they didn't get their degree, but they still have that debt. Those, we don't talk, when we talk about student loans and, people having the ability to, college graduates with student loan debt, one group of people that we don't talk about is the people with student loan debt that didn't get their degrees. I think that a lot of things were meant to saddle us with debt. And I think that education was meant to saddle us with debt. Because a lot of times when you got to college, the first 2 years of college, you were just learning stuff that you had learned in high school. You really weren't learning any new base knowledge until you actually got into your degree programs. Because those first 2 years of school are basically general education courses that you can test out of. There are programs like the college level exam program, the CLEP program, where basically you can pay $50 and take a test. And then on the test, all you have to do is get more than 50%, and you get the same 3 credits that a person is paying $1,000, $1,200, $400 per credit hour to get. But they don't tell you about these things. They don't tell you about the college level examination program, where basically you can you can test out of the first 2 years of college. And you can take these tests while you're a junior and a senior in high school. $50. Take a test, get over 50% on it, and get the credit hours. You have students who could go into college as a junior, straight out of high school. I can help with this. I do these things. I've put programs together for people that I know for their children when they're in high school, where basically by the time they graduate, they have completed all of their general education courses, and they're going straight into school as a junior, straight out of high school as a junior, straight into their programs that they want to concentrate on in college, where you're just basically paying for the last 2 years of college. But lots of times students who do these and take all these, they get scholarships and things of that nature. Okay, yeah, nursing as well. What I'm saying is these are specialized. Those are specialized professional degrees. Where some things nursing. Like my nephew is in a nursing program at the University of Kentucky, and he's going. I think he's going to grad school once he finishes his nursing program at the University of Kentucky. I've met. I think nursing is a really big program amongst young men now. I've met at least 8 young men within the last 2 years that I know are in nursing programs. I think nursing is changing. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share this video out. Subscribe to the page. We're talking about, was your college degree worth the time, energy, and money that you put into that self-investment? What has your degree done for you? And I'm of the belief that your college degree has to do more than just give you an opportunity for a job. And I think that that's why a lot of younger individuals or saying, I'm not going to college. I'm not going to college. It's different. These young people see people 21, 22, 23 years old with their own businesses. They're millionaires. So the prospects of going to school for 4 years and creating debt that I'm going to have to get a job to pay for once it isn't. I wish I looked at things like this. But there was no YouTube, there was no Rumble, there was none of that. And while we're at it, shouts out to everybody watching on X. Shouts out to everybody watching on TikTok. Shouts out to everybody watching on Rumble, as well as Instagram, and most definitely shouts out to the MA family and everybody watching on YouTube. But yeah. And I've already said that to this point now, I don't feel that the investment I put into my degree, I don't feel that I've gotten out of my degree what I should have. Now, there's different factors about why this can be true. Some of them socioeconomic, some of them racial. There's just lots of different reasons why, stuff cannot be realized. Carmel Sweets in the house. We got Camille in the house, Carmel Sweets, YWG, the Bud Files, Scorp Mama. Yeah, we got the people in the background that don't say too much, but yeah, eventually they will. Let's go back and look at some of these comments. YW said, my degree didn't help me get jobs. It did put me in the environment to meet folks that hired me. I think the investment was good because I only paid out maybe $30K for undergrad, masters, and tech. That's straight right there. That's straight. Scorp said college gave you confidence. I don't think I needed to pay for that confidence, Scorp. But yeah. YWG said most of his jobs was because of who he knew, not his degree. Scorp, you're right. You are more likely to get a job for a degree, but I will say this. Black men with post-grad degrees, black men are the lowest amount of college graduates with undergrad. Black men are the lowest numbers in graduates of master's degrees, and black men are the lowest number in the amount of graduates with doctoral degrees. Now, even though black men are the lowest on the totem pole in terms of college educated individuals, black men are the number one population of people with the highest numbers of unemployed individuals with post-grad degrees. How can that be? How can we be the smallest subset of individuals with degrees, but be the most unemployed of any individual groups with post-grad degrees? And that's because it's intentional. That's because it's intentional. It's intentional. And anyone that says that it's not intentional does not understand racism. How can the largest subset of a population be the highest in terms of per capita unemployed individuals? That don't make that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And young people see this. And young people are like, well, I'm gonna go to school for 4 years and get it to pay all this money to get a degree. And when I get the degree, the same people not gonna hire me. Why should I go to college? Why should I go to college? Why should it? Why would a person? So now we're going to talk about the reasons of why why lots of young people aren't choosing to go to college, especially black men. Black men most definitely are not going to college at a high rate. It's not happening. It's not happening. Is college worth it? And there's been lots of discussions on, is college worth it? Lots of places are saying that there's lots of degrees that aren't worth the paper they're printed on. Should there be a push? Should there be a push in the community to go into trades, to go into vocations, as opposed to going? Because I'll be honest. Yes, it's good to get a college degree, but if you don't have if you don't have scholarships and things of that nature, you may want to go a different route. You may want to go to community college first. Or, like I said, the CLEP program. There are programs that you can pay little, that you're not paying $400 a credit hour for a class. You can do the college level exam program. And if there's anybody that wants to learn about the college level exam program, I can hit me up, maasapeal@gmail.com. Whatever information, this is what I do in the daytime. Whatever information you need in terms of education consulting for your children, if they are juniors and seniors in high school and you want them to go into college day one as a junior, hit me up. We can talk about it. But yeah, it's not worth it to go to school for 4 years to have a degree that you're not even going to be able to get a job. The time of just getting a degree, college degree, to get a job, college degree is over. It's over because college is not about learning now. College is a business. College is a business. College is a business. And we need to treat college as such. Because paying $40,000 a year, $30,000 a year, $20,000, and having a debt of $80,000 to $100,000 after you graduate from undergrad, we cannot let another generation of people do this. That makes you have to, that creates a space where there is no there will be no more people coming up with Coca-Colas or Dells or Apples, because you'll be working for them, because you have to work for them to pay this debt off. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. I'm resigned to the fact that unless I hit it big with government contracting, I'm going to the grave with my student loan debt. I'm resigned to the fact. Hey, Pontoon Jody, I'm resigned to the fact that I'm probably going to the grave with my student loan debt, or I'm going to start a class action lawsuit because why did some people get their loans wiped off and I didn't? I finished my degree. Why didn't my student loans get forgiven? I think I'm gonna start a class action lawsuit of if some people got their loans forgiven, then everybody got to get their loans forgiven. Would I be wrong in doing that? Yeah, I'm resigned to the fact that I'm not going to obtain, most definitely not going to obtain employment, W-2 employment that's going to pay my student loan debt. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I had worked at my last job, and this is why I say that I don't believe that my college degree was a good investment. Pontoon Jody said her daughter just got her doctorate, and her student loan payment is over $700 a month. Hey man, I don't got no gold teeth, but they can dig me. They can dig me up and look at them. But yeah, I would say that I'm going to the grave with my student loan debt. W-2 employment is not going to pay student loan debt, especially when you're coming straight out of college. Because unbeknownst to the younger generation, you don't come out of college making $100,000 in most professions. And that is the expectation that a lot of students who are graduating from college now, they have an expectation to make $100,000 first job out of college. And it doesn't, and they get a rude awakening because, yeah, I read an article where there are people that are basically still living at home with their parents at 35 years old because they can't afford to live on their own. Imagine that. Imagine having a college degree and still having to sell drugs to pay your bills. Killer Mike talks about it on his album. I know people. Think about that. You have a college degree and you still have to sell drugs to make ends meet. Or you have a college degree and you're working 3 jobs to get by. Why would anyone, what's the worth in that? What's the worth in, and this is the reason I say, if I have a master's degree, I should never have to search for a job. I should never have to search for a job in my field. Or if I should never be unemployed in my field if I have a master. If you have an undergraduate degree, you should never be unemployed. You should never be unemployed. Because the thing about it is, a company can let you go at any time for anything. I was going to purchase a house. I was going to purchase a house. I had saved up money to purchase a house. And one monkey stopped the show. Because I was was smart. So the money that I had saved to buy a house, basically I've had to use. I have not had a W-2 job in a year. And if you have a master's degree, you should never be without a job for a year. It's just my thinking. Now I could be I could be wrong in my thinking, but I just think that if you have a master's degree or you have an undergrad degree, there should be a job for you. You shouldn't be. Wow. You a wild dude. Juggernaut said Job Corps is being shut down. They're building robots and they're closing Job Corps. There are no vocation programs. And soon there probably will be no trade programs. Is a college in 2025, is a college degree worth it? I got this video we're going to check out. Taco closed it. And this is a brand new, this is new. This is new because they're talking about AI. And basically they're asking, is a college degree worth it? And listen to what CNN had to say about this. We'll cut in from time to time because this is a 5-minute video. And like you already know that if a commercial comes up, I'll stop sharing, and then when the commercial goes off, I'll bring it back up. So here we go, y'all.
And right out of high school,
Okay.
75 grand right out of high school and no college debt. And you're thinking, what's the job? Athlete, social influencer? Nope. Try welder. That's the salary commanded by an 18-year-old who will soon graduate from Philadelphia's Catholic Father Judge High School. And he's not alone. All 24 graduating seniors in the school's welding program have job offers of $50,000 and above. Aiden Holland is the student with the $75,000 commitment from a defense contractor in New Jersey. They want him to be a nuclear submarine welder. And these stories are not one-offs. They're part of a reevaluation that Randy Weingarten, the head of the American Federation of Teachers, calls shedding the misperception some may still have of technical education as a dumping ground for students headed for low-skill, low-paying jobs. This is the new thinking. The world of education is in a state of flux. The 3 R's now stand for rework, revamp, and review. And this thinking applies to both high school and college. And I don't mean the College of Cardinals. It's been long overdue.
If you can get a job out of high school paying $75,000, is a college degree worth it?
And now accelerated by the role of artificial intelligence. A poll of 1,000 college students showed that almost 90% of them used the chatbot to help with homework. And that was taken right after the launch of ChatGPT. More recent research shows widespread use of AI in both high schools and colleges. The question today is not are students getting help from AI, but are they doing any of the work themselves?
Students do not do half of the work that we did. They have the schools give them computers. They don't read. They don't write in cursive. I mean, education is crazy right now. Why would you go to it? Why would you go to an American college to be saddled with debt when you could go straight out of high school to a $75,000 a year job? If you're not using a shortcut like the CLEP program or going to a community college for the first 2 years, you're overpaying for a degree with diminishing returns.
Thus, we get the story of Chungin Roy Lee, as told by New York Magazine. A computer science major at Columbia, he was quite open about how he exploited OpenAI. He used it on almost all assignments. He said 80% of his essays were AI generated. Quote, I put on the finishing touches. I just insert 20% of my humanity. The essays might have been 20% Lee's, but he got 100% of the grade, and that was okay with him. As he explained, most assignments in college are not relevant, but he adds they're hackable by AI. In fact, Lee launched an AI tool that helps students cheat their way through a job interview. Columbia put him on disciplinary probation. Lee notes that Columbia has partnered with OpenAI, which created ChatGPT, so why punish him? He predicts that it won't be long before using AI for homework won't be considered cheating. And if AI can do all the work, then why even go to class?
Let's stop right there. You're paying, his family was paying big money for him to go to school and hack the system. He said all his work was AI generated. He didn't do work. What is it worth it to go to college in 2025 to get a 4-year degree?
A recent Harvard Crimson article by Sandhya Kumar, class of 2026, looks at the issue of students playing hooky, noting that Harvard has recognized there's a problem and now requires a certain level of attendance. Wrong answer, says Kumar. She says she pulls out her iPad or laptop to work on other assignments when the lecturer can't hold her attention. She recognizes missing class comes with a cost, but her analysis suggests it might be worth it. Check this out. Harvard's tuition, $56,550 a year. Quote, every class I miss costs around $117.81 plus the non-monetary cost of potential implications on my course grade. Who wants to waste $117 and forego a coveted A? The true cost of attending class isn't just measured in dollars, it's measured in time, energy, and opportunity. Every once in a while, that $117.81 feels like a worthwhile trade-off for an extra hour to finish an assignment, prepare for an exam, or recover from an all-nighter. And so I skip class.
I just said that in the beginning of our conversation. Time, energy, opportunity, and the cost. And this person said Harvard's tuition is $56,500 a year, and every class they miss is costing $118. The time, energy, and opportunity was not worth the $118 to go to their class, so they missed it, like she said, for an extra hour to finish an assignment, to prepare for an exam, or to recover from an all-nighter. And so I skipped class. Time, energy, and opportunity, and cost.
Kumar adds that students skip out because they don't feel they're learning anything new. They can get what they need based on their own with class materials. So if AI can do all the work and class attendance is unnecessary, then why even invest the 4 years to get a degree? The White House seems to support this position in its own way. President Trump recently signed an executive order that states the government is no longer behind the one-size-fits-all approach to education, which previous administrations promoted as college for all. This new order is designed to modernize American workforce programs to prepare citizens for the high-paying skilled trade jobs of the future. And so we've come full circle now with the Republican Trump White House sounding very much like the teachers union leader Randy Weingarten, education making for strange bedfellows. And then again, the president may have his own reasons for supporting this reform because in recent election cycles, education has become the single best predictor of political leanings. Consider that in the 2024 election, Republicans won 14 of the 15 least educated states. Democrats won 14 of the 15 most educated states. Of course, it wasn't that long ago when being a college graduate meant that everybody thought you had the world by the tail and they had advice for you.
So you think you know Wix, do you?
Wow. While this commercial is playing, wow. Wow is all I can say is wow. Wow. Is a college degree worth it? I'm going to keep on saying that. YWG's putting entry-level jobs up that without a degree you can make $207,000 a year. I don't know if the return on the investment in a college degree is worth it at this point any longer. Unless it's specialized. Law, nursing, doctors, accountants, psychologists. If you're not going to school for a specialized, I think the times of going to school and graduating with a general education degree are over. Is a history degree worth the investment? Time, energy, opportunity, and cost. A history degree. There's an article that's up here that basically I read where it said that there are some degrees that are obsolete that need to be replaced. The time of going to school for general education degrees is over. It's over. It's over. Let's continue.
I just want to say one word to you. Just one word.
Yes, sir.
Are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Plastics.
Somebody said a history degree can get you
There's
banked.
a great future in plastics. Think about it.
But as we've seen with the rethinking of the place of education and fresh out of high school welding jobs, the emphasis on college for earnings is changing. Mind you, the data still shows that college is the best bet in the long run. According to a recent study with Georgetown University, somebody with a bachelor's degree earns $2.8 million on average.
Is it the best bet in the long run for black people? $105,000 black women lost their jobs in the month of April. 105,000 African American women were fired in the month of April. Black women added some points to that unemployment I don't know, need to, check, 108,000 black women became unemployed in the month of April. Did you all know that? Did you all know that? Yeah. Those numbers came out a couple of weeks ago. I meant to talk about it last week, but I didn't get around to it yet. 108,000 women lost their jobs in the month of April. We just crossed the hour into the show. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share this video. Subscribe to the page. Hit the Cash App. I'm sorry. I don't have no Cash App up. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Is it worth it to send your... Is it worth it? Unless it's a specialized degree. Is it worth it, y'all? Word Salad said you can make bank with a history degree. We're gonna continue.
Average over their lifetime. A high school diploma will earn you 1.6 million. Of course, that's just the beginning of the calculus. For instance, engineering and business majors, they earn significantly more than those who get degrees in education or the arts. At the same time, learning a skilled trade offers job security that you can't always find elsewhere. I remember a great bestseller years ago by Thomas Stanley and William Danko. It was called The Millionaire Next Door. The surprising thesis backed by a ton of research was that if you want to find someone who's worth $1 million, there's no need to go to Beverly Hills or Park Avenue. You can just look around your own neighborhood. If a person has a steady job, is able to build up a business or a reliable service, and doesn't live a showy, flashy lifestyle, they'll be able to accumulate a surprising amount over the years. A compelling takeaway from The Millionaire Next Door is that many of the millionaires profiled, they weren't doctors, they weren't lawyers, they weren't executives. They were skilled tradespeople. They were small business owners. And the authors found that a significant proportion of millionaires were self-employed in what might be considered blue-collar or middle-market industries. Think plumbers, think welders, electricians, contractors, pest control operators. These individuals often built modest businesses over time. They exercised strict financial discipline. They reinvested profits rather than indulging in lifestyle inflation. Unlike some high-income professionals who often live paycheck to paycheck in high-status neighborhoods.
I'll say it again. I didn't mean to cut him off where he was at, but is a college degree worth it? Is a college degree worth it? At this point in 2025, are you going to saddle your children down with the same debt that the government gave you? With limited, diminishing returns on that investment.
These tradespeople, they lived well below their means. They avoided debt. They focused on wealth accumulation rather than status signaling. So with all the discussion of education reform, one fact emerges. No matter your path, it's not just the learning you get, but what you do with it. Joining me now, someone who knows a great deal about it, Angie Simon, who in 2021 started the Heavy Metal Summer Experience, a nonprofit program that exposes high school students to careers in trades such as welding, plumbing, piping. It's a free program with over 50 locations across the United States and Canada. Angie, what happened to wood shop? What happened to metal shop? Tomorrow is Mother's Day. I think my mother still has the ladle that I
took wood shop and metal shop when I was in high school. I took both of them. I took home ec. I took all that stuff. They don't have those classes in high school any longer.
I made for her in metal shop, and somewhere I've got one of the business cards that I block style put together in wood shop.
You know, Michael, that's the problem. That's where the issue is. Somebody asked me, how long do I want to run Heavy Metal Summer Experience? And I said, only until we can get wood shops and metal shops back in high schools. Right now, high schoolers don't know about the trades, and that's the problem. They don't have a chance to experience what it does working with your hands. And I think we need to get that back into our high schools, and our high schools need to respect the fact that there's a lot of other good paths to a career besides college.
Will you speak to the demand? Because I know you've got the data and you know what the situation is across the country, right? It's not just that we want to put these people through your program. There are jobs waiting for them.
Oh, yes, absolutely. There are so many jobs waiting for them. I mean, right now in construction, we are short about 400,000 jobs, and we have about 40% of our industry.
$400,000 construction. 400,000 construction jobs. Why are we? I mean, there's colleges for some people, but for the most part, why are we not? Why are we trying to force our children to go to college when they can get a trade and be a millionaire? It's easier because they're not saddled with debt. If you come out of high school making $75,000 a year and you're debt free, you'll never have debt. Is it worth it to go to a 4-year college now?
Retiring in the next 5 to 7 years. So being short already, and then they're going to retire in our industry, there is so much opportunity for anybody that would like to be in the trades. And as you had said earlier, many of the tradespeople come through the trades and they start their own businesses as well. Probably about 65% of our contractors within SMACTA, the Sheet Metal Contractors Association, are own businesses by people that came through the trades. So it's such a great opportunity for the students to come through the
Who
trades.
don't you see in those? Well,
we're showing some video of your heavy metal workshop.
Yeah,
one of your students said something that caught my ear and my eye. Can we run that tape and I'll explain?
Not too many numbers of us in any of these situations. Even in in these skilled labor programs, our numbers are small. We've got to. We have to begin somewhere. And I'm of the belief that I don't want the generation behind me to be saddled with the same debt with diminishing returns that I have with this college degree. I think, and like I said, specialized degrees. There's always going to be a need for those specialized degrees like doctors, nurses, lawyers, accountants, chemists, engineers. There's always going to be a need for those people to get education. But in terms of, there's, if you're going to college to get a sociology degree social work, I'm just saying, I don't think I would go to a 4-year to get a 4-year degree to do social work. Social workers are some of the lowest paid industries in America, across America. I don't think I would go to school for 4 years for a sociology degree. That's just me. But yes, I think that there's a need for us to look at skilled trades as opposed to college education. Because I'm asking people, what does a college education get you? And the only thing we can say is an opportunity. And I don't think 4 years and $80,000 to $100,000 worth of debt is worth an opportunity.
I'll ask Angie a question.
There's too many people who don't know about the trades, and I'm glad that
You got a sociology degree, but you work in IT. Now you do have your part-time job, but you got a sociology. There's a lot of people that have degrees in one field, and they're not even working in the field that they have their degree in. I ain't trying to, I wasn't trying to say it like that. I wasn't trying to say it like that, YWG. But yeah, you got your sociology degree, but your main job is in IT. So that ain't no shade. I'm just saying, other than we do need black men counselors. That is a necessary need. But YWG, if you had to do it all over again, would you get a sociology degree or would you get an IT degree?
We're able to change that with this program.
Alejandro says there are too many who don't know about the trades. And as I watched the video and learned more about this effort, I thought to myself, who do we need to reach? Do we need to reach these students? That would seem obvious. Or really is the issue their parents?
Yeah, it's a little of both, and counselors to a certain degree in school districts. But I am surprised when the parents are so surprised when they come to graduation from our camps to find out how much money a student can make. And the fact that they can be, if you join the union, you are getting trained with no cost to you, and you're making money while you're doing it. And they find out that they get pensions, they get benefits and everything else. They find out that they can make six figures. So it's amazing how quickly the parents will change their tune and say, okay, maybe we don't need to go to college. But we are also focusing on the at-risk and underserved areas. And these are parents that really weren't sure what their kids were going to do, period. And they look so relieved to see that their kids are enjoying this, working with their hands, and actually making projects. So I know that we hit a little bit of a button here because all of a sudden we grew so fast. I mean, to go from 28 kids in 2 camps in 21 to this summer going to have almost 900 students across the United States.
If you're looking to start a nonprofit business, skilled trades may be if you're looking to start a business, working with children to get them into skilled trades may be something you want to look at.
In Canada, obviously it's really needed. And sadly, we're turning down kids from our applications. We have so many applicants for all of our camps. And
I know that a lot of parents, hope that their son, their daughter will rise up and work with their hands as an orthopedist or a dentist. But the takeaway here is you can get that same level of satisfaction and earn a good living through the skilled trades. Final thought is yours for 20 seconds.
Well, we were talking about when tradespeople, when I started college, got out of college, so 45 years of college, and started work at Western Alley where I began, mechanical contractor. The pipe fitters who were the same age as I was had already bought homes in the Bay Area. And I had just gotten out of school and I was just starting working. And that's the part that is interesting. You start 18 years old in the trades, and by the time you're 25 years old, you have probably bought a house, and even in the Bay Area. So that's the final thought. I mean, look at that opportunity in it. And actually with technology today.
And we'll end that right there. And she left out the fact that she had debt when she graduated from college. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. We talk about real world things over here. Because I'm your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. That's me, Maas. I'm your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. That's me, because I'm talking about the stuff that nobody's going to talk about. They're pushing this agenda of go to college. I'm not pushing that. Even though I'm a college graduate, I'm not pushing that. I don't believe that going to school for 4 years and having debt and not knowing if you're going to be able to get a job, I don't believe in that. I no longer believe in the investment of a 4-year degree. I no longer believe in the investment of a 4-year degree. Not when you can come out of high school and make $50,000 a year as a debt-free person. Hindsight is always 20/20. But the stuff that we see in hindsight, we got to tell the youth behind us, don't make the same mistakes I made. There's nothing wrong with a blue-collar job. Nothing wrong at all. Nothing wrong at all. Is a college degree worth the time, money, and energy? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I'm in 2025, I'm saying no. I'm saying no. I'm saying no. Because an opportunity, just an opportunity, is not worth it unless you're going for a skilled professional degree. If you don't know what you're going to school for, don't go to school. Don't saddle yourself with debt. If you don't know, if your children don't know what they want to be, they don't know what profession they want to be in, then they don't need to go to college. Because that would be a waste of money. It's tantamount now to have a plan. There used to be a time where, don't make a decision until you go to school and you take some classes and figure out. No, that was some pulling the wool over you. You don't know what you want to be. I'll go to school for a couple of years and take some classes and then decide what. No, that's a waste of money. That's a waste of money. And we're not about waste now. We're not about waste. And we're not about pushing that you got to go to a 4-year degree, 4-year college and get a 4-year degree to be successful. I'm done with that. This student loan debt changed my outlook on education, as well as the ability to get a job as a college educated person. It ain't worth it. Get you a skilled trade. You get a skilled trade, somebody always needs a plumber. Like he said, some of the welders, blue collar jobs, there's always going to be a need for construction workers. I went into a field, HR. I went into HR thinking that all companies need HR. I shouldn't have to worry about getting a job. I'm good at what I do. I graduated. I got a master's degree. I'm certified. I can't get a job. So no, the investment in a college degree is not worth it unless you're going for a professional degree. Unless you're going for a professional degree. College is a ripoff. As a holder of a master's degree, college is a ripoff. Because even with the college degree, as a black man, you're still going to make lower than some white men without a college degree. It's just facts. And I'm not saying nothing, I'm stating facts. It's easier for a white man with a felony to get a job than a college educated black man. And I'm speaking facts. So knowing that a white man with a felony can get a job before me with a college degree, why would I back a college degree as no? Why would I back going to school for 4 years and saddling yourself with $80,000 in debt when a white man with a felony can get a job before you can get one with your college degree? Why would I back that? No. Go get a skilled trade. Go get a skilled trade. And if I'm saying something is wrong, man, you're more than welcome to come up here and debate me on what I'm saying. A white man with a felony can get a job easier than me with a college degree. And people gonna talk about there's no racism. Fuck out of here with that shit. Excuse my language. White man with a felony can get a job easier than I can as a black man educated with a college degree. And people say that there's no racism. What world are y'all living in? What lens are you looking through? I can't tell you how many buddies I got that are master's degree holders. They got laid off. They don't have to have a reason. They can be mad at you because of the way you dress, the things you have, the lifestyle you've attained. And one person can end all that. And I went to a 4-year degree program and got saddled with debt for a person with no degree to let me go. Why would I back that up and say that it's a good investment? Why would I? Why would I back that up and say it's a good investment when a person, like I said, black men in America have the lowest numbers per capita of undergrad, master's degrees, and doctorate degrees. But we are number one in the numbers of unemployed individuals with postgraduate degrees. And I'm supposed to back that up and say, yeah, go to a 4-year college. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. It's insanity to continue to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. I'm at the point now where I don't care. I'm at the point now where I don't care. I'm just speaking the truth now. I'm just gonna be a truth speaker now. I'm just gonna be a truth speaker now. These numbers don't get this way unintentionally. These numbers don't get this way unintentionally. They don't. But you just gotta take it on your chin. You just gotta take it on your chin. Pull your boots up. Pull your boots by your boot. Man, fuck all that shit. Pull your boots by your bootstrap. I gotta tighten my suspenders up, and whenever you get close to the finish line, they'll move the finish line. Whenever you get close to the finish line, they'll move the finish line.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
We're gonna end this discussion. I got a whole lot of stuff going on in my head, and I don't know if I want this stuff to come out right now. But we've been talking about the investment of a college education and if it's worth it. I don't believe it. In the state that America's in right now and their attitudes towards educated black people, I don't feel that. I don't feel that the investment is worth it. And I'm just speaking on the facts of things that I've been through. I can't speak for anybody else's experiences. I can only speak for my experiences and things that I've been through in terms of my profession and what I do. And that's why I started my own business. Because now it's all on me. It's funny how all these rules are set up where you can get let go from a job and they don't even have to give you a reason. College educated or not. I think that if I didn't have the student loan debt that I have, I don't know if I would even entertain W-2s. We only work these jobs for these companies because we have bills to pay. And a lot of those bills that we pay, stuff that was generated while we were in college. So I would be an asshole to steer another generation of smart individuals into that same pit hole that I walked into. So nah. At one time, being college educated was a big thing. Not so much anymore. When you open the curtain up and you see the Wizard of Oz back there and how he's manipulating things that you thought was a given. No, it's never a given. Do not saddle yourself with the debt of a 4-year degree. Get into a skilled trade. And that's coming from somebody with a degree. This has been your boy Maas Apeal. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. We'll be back with another thought-provoking show.